I had someone request that I show my SMG class, which to me is actually just my main class. The main class I use is really what I would call my SMG class. I really think the guns can go on anything depending on which SMG you are using. So thought I'd give a sneak peek. There's nothing going to be exciting here. I don't do anything I think is, out of the ordinary. But I'll show you my main class, and this is what you'll see me run around with most of the time. The War Master class I've shown before is barely touched because I don't really do the War Master anymore. But anyways, I've never hid the fact that I'm a huge fan of the Casteton Springer, and that's what I run with most of the time, especially this radiation one. Radiation is incredible in this game. Now, I mean, a lot of people think bio is the #1. For scoring points, it kind of can be, but as far this thing ignores so much armor that it's incredible. And I got this one as a purple and had upgraded it to a legendary. It's why you'll see a purple damage roll on it. It's a 1.04, or if it had been legendary, it'd be 1.05. I just wasn't going to spend an Arc Forge to get a 1% more damage. Not worth it to me. Now my grind fragger, I love my grind fragger, and this is what I'll use to break down the armor on enemies. Cannoneer, so I get to shoot faster, plus the Cannoneer does nano effects after a reload, which is kind of helps out a little bit. I don't ever do a full reload, hardly ever, so but this gun, I rolled a +8 mag on it, and once you get used to having all those extra rounds, it is hard not to keep it. So I've left it there. I was looking for a reload, as you can tell. Reload. I wanted one more reload and didn't get it, but I decided I'd just stick with the mag. It's what I said. I can kill half an enemy with 8 mag. With 16, I can kill over. I can fully kill it. So, and it shoots out rounds pretty darn fast. So I like using my grind fragger. So I've been using these two guns probably 90% of the time. I almost never even swap out because I really enjoy using those two. They're very, very powerful and come in handy. Now, my shield let me make changes to my perks, so be aware of that. Because I did get a 100% regeneration shield, I used to use the regeneration perk, but now I don't have to because it's 3%. When I have 100%, I'm not too worried about the extra 3%. That means I can use that perk for something else. The shrill grenades are just wonderful. I mean, it's basically a radiation grenade. You gotta love a grenade that you can get near it and hear all the screaming going on from the shrill. So I like using them. They're pretty good to use. I use a damage spike or ammo spike. That's one thing that really does get floated out. It depends on what I'm doing. I'll look in here and swap that one out. Armor repair stem. I don't like being without my armor. You can really tell the difference, so I try to keep my armor up, so I use that. Perks, of course, I am going to swap classes real quick here. Overcharge is, to me, it's the best ability in the game, so that's what I'm going to use. Blur would really come in handy. There's a lot of times where I think I should be using Blur more than I do, because Blur is really a good ability to use, I think, for PvE, where I don't really think Cloak does enough for you to care about using it for PvE. And Decoy is so-so. Now, I use Gunslinger as my first perk. Because it's a submachine gun's mainly what I use, it's, a crit from the hip is wonderful, and the same with the shotgun. You're mainly shooting from the hip. I rarely aim in, so those come in handy. They're good to have, and when you're doing certain things, you just realize, hey, if you're aiming, you'll let go of it, and it'll just stay in the same spot, and you'll keep getting that crit multiplier from your hip. It'll increase it. So Scavenger gives you 30% more ammo. So I think this has been here from probably the minute I ever got the perk. It's been right where it's sitting, so it's been there a long time. Fortitude, 15% base health. I like extra health. Extra health means you can stay alive a little bit longer. So, and I've always said I'm into survivability. I like to stay alive, and it shows most of the time. I don't go down as much as I see a lot of other people do. Preparedness, I've always said you should run preparedness on every single class. It's just, there's nothing better than throwing the gun on your back and having it reload while you're using the one in your hand. Cellular armor, 6% less damage. You gotta like that. I mean, when the description is you take less damage, beautiful. So, like to use that. Kiling Machine. It just increases the duration of overcharge. So we definitely want that. Self-medicated. Now, this perk is a perk that was just a laugh before threat level started. I can't tell you anybody I would have known that would have actually used it. And I would have told them, you're wasting a perk slot using that. Now I will use it like on tons of different things because to me it's very important. Now I want it to come back as fast as possible because I don't want to have to extract. You go down, you lose 1,000 points. Okay, well if you extract, you lose 3,000. That's not cool, so I don't want to have to extract. I want my self-revive to come back as fast as possible. Single-minded. You reload faster while standing still. 30% reload. This is like adding a 0.7 reload, 0.70 reload roll to any of your weapons if you're just standing there. It really makes a large difference if you are standing still, how fast you reload. And when you're doing some of the major bosses, the Hellbug boss, the Monolith, and you're just standing there, just laying into it, not having to move, you want to be able to reload really, really quick. And that's why I like to use single-minded. Blast Shield, I've said it before, this is a wonderful perk to use. I know I've said, hey, you should use this at the War Master, but I've said you should use it everywhere else. With the enemies getting all of the new explosive powers, this is a must to me. I want to decrease the range that those explosives are going to hit me, and it does work. So this is just something that stays. This is another one that won't go. I really don't have anything to change out. I know I could put something in to make my radiation do more damage or something like that, but I like my class. My class works really well for the way I play. Now, let me talk about this. This is technically part of the class. I saved up and bought the Durango rather than hit a weapon cache in the Defiant Few vendor. And why would you care if you're just saying, well, I just want the weapons? Well, you need to pay attention to hit points. Hit points, hit points. Now, what you've seen more than anything would be this Black Dodge Challenger. Well, look at the hit points. It only has 12,301 hit points. Look at this, 71,758. This means I can ram a Volge and not have my car blow up and then just get destroyed by the Volge or have to run away or anything like that because my shields went down when my vehicle blew up. So this is why I wanted a Durango. I wanted the hit points. It's a wonderful, wonderful thing to have on a vehicle. I've always hated the nerf. Whenever they took away the hit points, they were right to take away some hit points at a car. A car should not be able to just drive over everything, but they reduced it so much we can't, you hit a skitterling and you see, a chunk of your car's health gone. So I wanted something with more health. I saw these had more health, and that's why I made a point to get myself one of these Durangos. So there is my main class, that is, or you could call it the SMG class because that's what I use on it. And that's what I run with most of the time in this game. I will catch you guys later.